5 years.
Okay.
I'm teased.
You're all good. Now call to order this special meeting of the Oak Hill City Council, July 27th, 2023. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Charles Briscoe,
Here.
Council at Large Bill Hannabad,
Here.
Ward 1 Council members Diana Janey,
Here.
Roger Evans, Krista Hodges. Ward 2 Council members Chris Gill,
Here.
Pete Day Elder,
Here.
and Charles Smallwood Jr.
Here.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll now have our invocation and pledge, which will be led by Councilman Chris Gill.
Dear Lord, I want to start off by saying we thank you for all that you do in our lives every day, God. I thank you for this team of council members, this team, this body of government that you put together, God. I ask that you be with us in every decision that we make, and let us make the best decisions that for the city of Oak Hill and the citizens that it will affect. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Thank you, Mr. Gill. The purpose of tonight's special meeting, item number 1 will be the general fund budget revision. Item number 2 will be the recommendation to change August 14th council meeting to August 7th at 5:30 p.m. And item 3, the consideration to issue bonds and or award bid for the fire department addition. We will begin with general fund budget revision, item number 1.
Okay, when we did the budget in March, we budgeted our fund balance for the year as, this is on the very back of your the paper that I gave out. We budgeted 50,000 in restricted and in unassigned, I think that's in the wrong line, but it should be unassigned as $1,203,582.
What
And-
page are you on? I'm sorry.
This, the very back,
Oh, the second to the back.
Yes.
Okay.
well, or third or whatever.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, it's almost at the back.
Okay.
Will, you know how I am when I start on this budget stuff.
I know.
So that's what we budgeted. And I want to show you, then off to the left, I have what the actual amounts are after we put in all the expenses and everything for the year end. Those amounts are what they actually were. If you look on the very front page. You really need the front. The very front, yeah, the very first page. Our fund balance, as shown on this, the balance sheet that I've given you, is $248,257.28. Out of that, if you look at OPEB liability, we have $1,025,512.15. We're allowed to put that back into our fund balance. We don't have to take that out of our fund balance. So I've added that back in. And then our rainy day fund of $912,599.78, we don't have to spend that as part of our general fund. So I've subtracted that out. So, however, we need part of that rainy day fund to meet our next year's budget And so I've added back in $892,411.95. So when we did the budget last year, it included the rainy day fund. And that equals what the actual fund balance is and what we budgeted of $1,253,582. So I've just had to change the numbers a little bit because our restricted fund balance is the police forfeiture account that they put asset forfeitures in. That's controlled by the court. So we don't have any say over how that gets spent. And it has to be spent for drug related items. The chief gets some say over it as far as that goes, but it can only be spent for drug related enforcement or equipment. So the actual balance was $55,642 and leaving $1,197,940 for our unassigned balance. Now, we have the revenue report. And if you look at that, that's on the second page. It's the second page, number 1. So we budgeted $5,398,899 in revenues. And we were a little ahead of revenues by $181,000. And then on the page 14, we budgeted for expenditures $6,579,828, and the actual expenditures were $5,910,585. So we were under budget $669,242. So that's what I have. If y'all have any questions.
When, Demita, when you were able to, put the OPEB liability in, and some people might not know what that is, but anyway, when you were able to put that back in at 912,555.
Oh, that's the rainy day fund.
Okay, so the OPEB liability was 892,000.
Was the $1,025,512.
I see. Okay. And then you added back 892,000.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So-
that's the rainy day. That's if we spend everything, if we spend everything in our budget next year, we will have to use part of our rainy day fund.
This fiscal year.
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't understand why, if we got to take the OPEB liability fund and put that in our general budget, then,
That's not our cash because we've used all that OPEB liability, the money that we had. That's not our cash. This is our liability.
okay.
So that reduces the fund balance, and that's why we're allowed to add it back.
I understand.
So at the end of the day, what will our rainy day fund?
If we'll only have like $20,000 left in there.
20,187.83.
Right. But as you know, almost every year we've budgeted to use all that and we never used it. And hopefully that'll happen. Hopefully we'll get a windfall. And now this does not include our sales tax. That's not in this revenue stream. So it's not included in the general fund. That's all I have. If I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the budget revision.
City Manager, I have a couple questions.
Okay,
Where are the salaries in here?
they're on each line item. Each department has a salary. You can see on page 1, you can see this, the civil service salaries, the mayor, council, then city manager, treasurer,
So-
each department.
Is the code enforcement officer in that?
That's not, it's not in this one because, Bill Light is. Bill Light's in under the city manager.
Which line is that?
It's the very first, on page 2,
Okay,
it's the very first line.
so it's all lumped in.
Yes. That has my salary in it, Bill Light's, Tyler's, Allison, some administrative, some of them administrative staff. They're all in that line item.
Is there a possibility that we could have that broken down?
Yes. I mean, I don't have
Not
it right
tonight. Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
And what percentage of the budget is salaries?
Oh, I don't know. I can't figure that right off the top of my head.
Okay. And the money that's set aside for projects, is that included in here or where is it?
No, the ARPA money is also not included in here.
Anyone else?
I mean, is the parks, what are they under? Like our park, is that that's not a regular line item?
Yes, it
Is
is.
it? Cause maybe I
Mhm.
don't see it. I was just
Except
curious.
not the project that we have. That's on page 13.
No,
It's in
I
the
wasn't,
project
yeah,
section.
meaning the project. I meant just like is the regular parks of its own, like we have a
Right.
budget for
Yes,
our
we do.
parks.
Right. And most of that you'll see like improvements, parks. We had set that aside for Needle's Eye or the dog park or any of the parks that we've used or that we have. But if we've done anything big with parks, we've taken that out of ARPA, which we really haven't done anything this year that's really big. And that I hope to be able, probably not at our meeting on August 21st that we have scheduled for the training. But I'd like to do a workshop kind of just to go over all these budget things so that you'll have a better understanding of what we do to come up with the budget and how we categorize our invoices when they come in and pay our invoices out of these line items.
All right, if we don't have any further discussion, anyone like to make a motion to accept the city manager's report for the general budget revision?
I'll make that motion.
We get a second? Anyone?
I'll second that.
All right, any other discussion on the motion? It's been properly moved and second. Please prepare to vote. All those in favor?
Uh,
I was waiting for you to tell us to say.
I'm
yay or
sorry,
nay.
I'm sorry. All those opposed? say nay. Okay, the motion is therefore carried. Thank you. We will move on to item number 2, the recommendation to change the August 14th council meeting to August 7th at 5:30 PM.
I'll make that motion to approve changing the August 14th meeting to August 7th at 5:30.
Second.
Any further discussion on that? All right, that motion has been properly moved in second. All those in favor, say aye. All those opposed, thank you, PJ. All those opposed, say nay. All right, the ayes have it. Well, item number 3, the consideration to issue bonds and or award bid for the fire department addition.
I sent you, all of you in an email, the recommendation from Thrasher to award the bid to Wolf Creek Contracting for $1,625,000. That was the low bid, and I think it has, these are the 2 bids that we received from Wolf Creek Contracting and Veritas Contracting. And there was quite a difference, but they looked and verified that they were bidding the same thing. So that is their recommendation. And also with this, we will have to issue bonds to be able to finance or to pay for that, for the addition. So that's what I want to get your approval on, or at least your go-ahead, because I know it has to go through a lot of processes, but I need your go-ahead to begin the process for those bonds. Because we have to get the building commission together, you all will have to have meetings. I have the bank proposal or the request for proposals ready. I need to get those sent out so we can see which bank will have the lowest financing. And so I'd just like to get that process started.
I'll make that motion that we go with the lowest bid, which is Wolf Creek Contracting.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the matter? If not, the motion has been properly moved and second. We will proceed to vote. All those in favor, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. All right, the motion is carried.
And could you just, if it's okay for me to proceed with getting the bonds issued?
And I'll make that motion to go ahead to get the bonds issued.
Thank you.
Can we get a second on that?
I'll second.
All right, that one's been properly moved and second as well. All those in favor, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. All right. Well,
I'd just like to make a comment that that a couple of us, I know I requested this go on the schedule for the agenda for the regular meeting, not to have important decisions made during special meetings. To me, to explain that we really needed to get the bond process started. So it was a necessity. So because I think we're all tired of special meetings.
all right, anyone else? Well, if all minds are clear, I now consider this meeting adjourned. Have a nice evening.
Yes, but we needed to adjourn the meeting, so. If everybody, whoever wants to leave, can leave. I can say a little bit.